Hi everybody, today I am here with you to discuss about the materials that can be used to stimulate all the domains of development in a child. The development of preschool children is characterized by basic changes in all domains like physical, emotional, social, lingual and cognitive. Development begins from experience acquired from the child's surroundings. Emotional and social changes. Children become aware of their emotions and feelings, learn to cope up with them and try to delay gratification of needs. They develop self-esteem, a sense of competence and their social world widens. The preschool establishes interactions with children of their own age and with adults outside their family circle. They acquire life skills and social norms and learn to solve conflicts in ways that enable social relationships and friendships. Language development. As children are introduced to a large number of books, they develop their vocabulary and to use syntax in speech. Children understand oral language better and express themselves more fluently. They cannot hold a conversation. Sensory motor development. Children grow and improve their spatial orientation and independence. They become aware of how to use it efficiently and to derive enjoyment from doing so. Their control of their environment and their ability to use different tools and props assist them to widen their range of activities. Cognitive abilities. They begin to use complex cognitive processes to learn and understand the world around them. Their inquisitiveness to know about things heightens. They begin to solve problems and find explanations, understand and construct symbols. Their rich imagination is expressed through play. Abstract thought processes buds up. Now let us see how to plan learning areas for preschoolers. There are various areas that need to be established in a preschool so as to promote maximum stimulation and development in a child's life. They are areas such as dramatic play. Dramatic play allows children to construct social and emotional knowledge, role play and understand others' perspectives. Prop boxes. Prop boxes are excellent for sparking creative play and imagination. To make a prop box, begin with an empty box or a computer paper box with a lid. Cover the box with paper and label it with an appropriate title. Block area. For maximum use and creativity with dramatic play, the block area works well placed nearby. Like the dramatic area, blocks are extremely valuable for learning about size, quantity, space, length and shape. Science. Science leads to learning about the child's physical self as well as environmental awareness, plants, animals and the world. Writing area. Pre-writing area activities serve to help children to build knowledge in all areas of language development including speaking, writing and pre-reading skills. Book area. Book areas encourage children to learn all aspects of printed language including learning about authors, illustrators or artists. Some of the tasks that are added to the curriculum to help children learn practical skills include activities such as dressing oneself, learning home address and phone number, pouring liquids without spilling, carrying objects without dropping, carrying liquids without spilling, walking without knocking into furniture or people, using knives and scissors with good control, putting materials away on the shelves, working carefully and neatly, dusting, polishing and washing exercises, sweeping, flower arranging, caring for plants and animals, table setting, etc. For learning science, some of the basic concepts that should be taught include living and non-living things, animals and plants, observation of living things in nature, puzzles representing the parts of flowers, trees and common animals, introduction to ecology, the names and functions of different forms of leaf, flower, seeds, etc., the three states of matter, health and nutrition, astronomy and elementary physics. Moving on to teaching and learning mathematics, activities such as linear counting, using beads for teaching basic mathematical operations, stamp game, skip counting, sensorial exploration and congruence can be made use of. Media and techniques of storytelling. Stories can be told using many media and techniques. Resourceful teachers in a preschool will be able to abstract the attention of children very quickly and will be able to retain long by using the media. Her gesture and action with a bit of dramatization will be able to attract the children much better than a teacher who is inactive. She uses her facial expression and action by using appropriate sounds, music, repetition, etc., and children enjoy repeating the rhythmic words. Sand tray techniques. A tray can be filled with sand and naturalistic situations can be created by using plants, pebbles, stones, grass, etc. Flannel board. Flannel boards are used to introduce different characters and their respective characteristics. Pictures are moved on the flannel board which has a plain background so that the picture may emerge out well. The flannel board should be placed in a standing position within the visual reach of children. Puppets. Puppets play both educational and therapeutic value by making children more lively and free as it is a joyful activity for them. The puppets should be made light and simple so that it could also be manipulated by children as and when the need arises. Rollograph of TV model. The pictures of a story are sequence-wise fixed on a long sheet of paper or a cloth, then fixed on the rods which are inserted on the two ends of the four-side frame which could be rolled and unrolled as the story proceeds. Flashcards. Flashcards in which puppets of the story are posted on a sturdy base and placed sequence-wise before the story is narrated. On the back side of the flashcard, the selected part of the story is written. Files and slides are the other storytelling techniques which can be made use of. Storytelling. The child who is interested in exploring a dream should be encouraged to use it for creating rhythm or a musical sound, not just noise. The child's immediate interest in the music around him should be guided into enlarging that interest in the direction of increasingly beautiful music. Story and song. A story can lead into a song. Often, a teacher tells a story and then introduces the song that tells the same story in music. For instance, she may read The Carrot Seed. After the children are familiar with it, she may play the recorded musical version of the song as a means of helping the children learn to enjoy listening to music. They can follow alone by looking at the picture in the book as they hear the music. Action song. When children are happy and content, when they are engaging in satisfying activities, especially rhythmic activities, they will sing. We can encourage musical expression when we help them. Find satisfaction and see that they have plenty of opportunities for the kids for rhythmic activities that they enjoy. These activities include swinging, bouncing, pounding, running or pedaling a tricycle. When children model clay, one of them may start pounding it. The child may develop a rhythmic pounding which others will soon imitate. The teacher will pick up the rhythm and fit some phrase to it such as pound the clay, or she may suggest another phrase in the same rhythm. Rhyming with the first phrase, then she can put two phrases together and let the children in singing pound the clay, hear and play. There should be an opportunity for dancing wherever there is a space and music. Listening to music. Important exercise that the pre-primary can offer is that of listening to good music through records or music played on the piano, the violin, the flute or any other instrument. This adds to the variety of the children's experiences with music and increases their interest. Using musical instruments. The child experiments with instruments. It becomes aware of differences in sounds in relation to way in which the instruments are played. It comes to recognize sounds of various instruments. Through a variety of experiences with different instruments, the child can learn that sound is a result of vibration. They can have a simple introduction to the different groups of instruments, the flutes and other woodwind instruments, the horns, drums, cymbals and other percussion instruments. Selection of music and musical instruments. For children, music can be started from a familiar note with simple humming. Rhyming patterns are more appealing to them. The musical instrument should be child size, light and easy to handle and carry, locally available, of pleasant tone, durable, safe and attractive. Creative dramatics. In creative dramatics, an experience is acted out by the children as they are guided in thinking, feeling and creating their own dialogue and action. There are no lines to be memorized, no formal audience, no customs or technical aids. Creative dramatics contributes to language art skills as children speak, communicate and listen. Auditory discrimination may also be built. Dramatic plays. Dramatic play is spontaneous and kind of free play. In dramatic play, children identify themselves with persons or things around them or about which they have perceived. Waste paper. Waste paper can be put to very entertaining and productive use in paperwork. Bright colors being attractive to children, old magazine papers are best for scrawling, tearing, cutting, folding and pasting. Folding is a good activity in which very simple or highly complicated folding is possible, such as book, scarf, boat, mat, etc. are very good materials for making dolls, butterflies and many other decorative pieces. Cardboard. Cardboard covers of old exercise books, discarded cartons of tea or biscuits and used greeting cards are all good materials for making labels, alphabets, numbers and picture cards. Old calendar dates are really useful for number work. Pasting. It provides tactile experience and opportunities for manipulation and coordination. It offers emotional release and opportunity to acquire motor skill. Through this activity, the child feels, manipulates, explores and creates new things. Cutting and tearing. Cutting and paper tearing build muscle control and eye-hand coordination. The child cuts and tears the papers aimlessly, exploring possibilities of material. He or she practices for skill, trying to control scissors and direction of tearing. After completing his work, he names his forms. It offers opportunity to grow creativity and an awareness of form concept. Fingerprinting. Fingerprinting helps the child to experiment with colors by using his fingers, hands and arms and mixes all colors. Teachers should provide the child with free choice of paper or oilcloth. Child should be allowed to paint whatever he likes. He develops an appreciation for form and color. Finger painting encourages creative expression through its direct contact between the child and the product and provides chances for self-discovery. Using blocks. Child plays with single blocks. He creates a building and then names it. Their flexibility and ease of handling make an excellent first medium for the child. The teacher should provide the child with ample space and materials. Pieces of wood which are thrown away by carpenters can be profitably turned into a beautiful building block after sandpapering and painting them. Empty matchboxes can also be put to similar use as building blocks. Railway carriages, cars, buses, etc. can be made according to the child's imagination and to suit different situations. Other materials for creative activity. Things from nature can be wisely used and collected by the teacher to enhance the creativity of the child. Dried leaves, flowers, wasted piece of cloth by the tailors could be collected and pasted on newspaper to create different patterns. First, make designs on paper with homemade starch paste and then sprinkle dried tea waste on it and see excellent birds of designs or animals on it. Multicolored paper beads can be made by cutting long triangular pieces of colored paper from old magazines. Smear homemade starch paste on it. Start with the broad end of the paper. Dry them after removing from the needle and use for beading. Instead of throwing eggshells into the dustbin, use them to provide amusement, recreation and opportunity for creativity. Keep the eggshells in salt water for a little time, then wash and dry them. Stuff a little cotton wool and paint the shells. Invert them carefully on thick broomsticks fixed on a clay base or hang them from a string. Puppets. Puppet show is one of the most important activities in a pre-primary school which children thoroughly enjoy either by seeing them or taking part in them. To make a simple puppet stage, get 7 bamboo sticks. The 3 sticks together, use them as stands at either end and place 1 stick across them in horizontal position. Hang 1 sheet of cloth on it and behind the screen children can stand and act out the story with the help of rod puppets, paper bag puppets and glove puppets. Doll's house. Making doll house encourages a child's creativity and imagination. These can be made using ice cream cups, spoons, paper plates, clay cereals, pulses and other easily available things. Aims and objectives of preschool. Objective 1 is to develop in the child a good physique, adequate muscular coordination and basic motor skills. The activities which synchronize with this aim or objective are motor skills such as climbing steps, jumping, sliding, swinging, balancing, blowing bubbles, buttoning and unbuttoning, tying and untying, using scissors, etc. Objective 2, to develop good health habits and to build up basic skills necessary for personal adjustment such as dressing, toilet habits, eating, washing, cleaning, etc. Corresponding activities include washing hands, cleaning teeth, combing hair, cutting nails at regular intervals, zipping and unzipping trousers, lacing and unlacing shoelaces. The objective 3 is to develop social attitudes and manners to encourage healthy group participation and making the child sensitive to the rights and privileges of being a member of a social group and to encourage him to cooperate, share and take part of the property belonging to him as well as others. Objective based activities include acquiring skills from the parents and teachers who encourage them to develop respect for elders. Group songs, group games and projects may also be organized. The objective 4 is to develop emotional maturity by guiding the child to express, understand, accept and control his feelings and emotions. Self-control and restraint can be built by listening to stories with attention and sitting still. The objective 5 is to encourage aesthetic appreciation in the child. The child may observe natural phenomena such as plants, flowers, birds and animals. The children are made to sing, dance and make rhythmic movements and clap to music. Okay, the objective 6 is to stimulate in the child the beginning of intellectual curiosity concerning his immediate environment. The objective based activities include expressing creatively and constructively, learning concepts and learning fundamentals of reading, writing and arithmetic. Objective 7 is to encourage in the child independence and creativity by providing him with sufficient opportunities for self-expression. For developing creative self-expression, activities such as coloring using a flannel board to make a picture, arranging and pasting pre-cut shapes, etc. can be done. Objective 8 is to develop in the child the ability to express his thoughts and feelings in fluent, correct and clear speech. Activities such as loud reading, narration of short stories or some other personal experiences may be used as activities. Let us now move on to the school readiness program. Muralidharan has described the activities of a nursery school as follows. The children are promoted to the KG class after having undergone the nursery school program which prepares them for school readiness. The first one is reading readiness. Reading readiness program starts with a great deal of exposure to language experience. Time is developed for free conversation, narration of events and question answer sessions. Picture book reading followed with discussion is almost a day activity. Every story read is discussed and then dramatized. Play with words is a popular game in the KG class. Stress is also laid on exercise in visual and auditory discrimination. Writing readiness. This is developed by means of a large number of activities involving paper and pencil, spontaneous drawing, copying, tracing, filling and completing. Readiness to work with numbers. This is developed through number games such as determining why certain groups do not match and finding out how they can be made comparable. Activities for cognitive development. This includes creative development, motor development, personal and social development, music, dancing, painting, handwork activities, etc. Those children who have undergone these experiences are found to adjust with no difficulty to the demands of class 1 of a primary school. Let us take a quick glance at the categories of equipment. Ready-made equipment. It may meet the requirement of children's immediate needs and be suitable for the activities organized by the teacher, but it is seldom functional and also cannot be put to multiple uses. The qualities that are advertised for its sale are not always the ones that preschool institutions consider important. Natural equipment. This consists of objects collected and looked after by the pupils, teachers and even parents, since these have been collected from the child's environment, and these are very valuable. The use of these objects accustoms the child to observe his surroundings and to take a new look at the things they are familiar with. Teacher-made equipment. This includes equipment especially made by teachers based on their own perception and understanding of a particular learning situation. A teacher might involve parents and at times even students to prepare suitable equipment such as toys. Types of play equipment. According to Susan Isaac, the following categories of play equipment are suitable for children between 3 to 7 years of age. Equipment for physical growth, movable board, ladders, balls, etc. Materials for making things such as beads, wooden bricks, etc. Fantasy material for making dolls, houses, cars, trains, chairs, etc. And formal materials such as Montessori equipment. Materials needed for sensory equipment include sound boxes, sound matching games, texture cards, plasticine, musical instruments, smell matching games, etc. For the building materials, blocks, wooden hammers, table blocks, train set, etc. can be used. For the art materials, crayons, markers, paint brushes, blunt scissors, collage materials, watercolors, etc. may be used. For the active play material, beach balls, slides, swings, rings, old tires, balancing boards, bean bags, push toys, etc. can be used. For the manipulative material, puzzles, boards and strings, sewing cards, nesting toys, big needles, magnets and balancing beams can be made use of. For the dramatic play, doll furnitures, doll clothes, doctor set, kitchen set, doll house, typewriters, notepads, used buses, aeroplanes, etc. may be made use of. Moving on to the books and music section, picture storybooks, poems, televisions, CD players, old magazines, etc. can be used. For the science area, a low table, a trough and a magnifying glass may be used. Teaching guides. Teaching guides help the teachers to create a positive classroom community and fill every period of each day with meaningful learning experiences. The teaching guides are comprehensive, detailed plans that span for several weeks and offer moment by moment guidance for every day. Intentional teaching cards. These cards describe playful and engaging activities that can be implemented throughout the day with directions to help the teachers individualize each activity to meet the needs of every learner. Designed for ages 2 to 6, the experiences explained on these cards support socio-emotional, physical and language development as well as development and learning in literacy and mathematics. One of the most important features of the intentional teaching card is the color-coded teaching sequence. These sequences enable teachers to quickly adapt an activity to make it more or less challenging, thereby enabling every child to participate successfully. Mighty Minutes. Research suggests that in many preschool classrooms, valuable time that could be dedicated to learning is wasted. That won't happen with the creative curriculum for preschool. Mighty Minutes are songs, chant rhymes, games and short activities that help turn every minute of the day into a learning opportunity. Children's book collection. Reading aloud with children is the best way to inspire a love for reading and to promote language and literacy skills. Designed for use with computers and interactive whiteboard technology, e-books build children's confidence and excitement about reading. Book discussion cards. Book discussion cards show teachers how to conduct multiple effective reading alouds, ensuring that children are getting the most out of these experiences. Intended as a quick reference for group read-alouds, book discussion cards offer suggestions for introducing each book, emphasizing vocabulary as the story is read, commenting on characters, and asking probing questions. A classroom to enhance learning. Use cupboards, screens and tables to divide the classroom into children's work areas so that it defines the activities that will take place in different parts of the room. Put labels for the areas such as library corner, games and puzzles table, etc. Make sure that all of the children can comfortably sit on the big rug next to the library corner. Provide dress-up clothes and other props in the block space and the housekeeping room. These are the areas in which the children engage in dramatic play. Display many examples of printed materials. Do not display excessive print that is not meaningful. Alphabet displays on a nearby wall are placed at the children's eye level as they sit at the writing tables. Here are some things you can do to help children learn about letters. Encourage the children to notice that letters are all around them. Encourage them to play with letters. Give children plastic alphabet tiles and encourage them to spell their names and words as they like. Say to the children, see the letters on this keyboard? Press 1 and watch the letter come up on the screen. Play games with line segments where children try to guess which letter you are writing as you draw parts of the letter one at a time. Read many kinds of books. Children need to be read different kinds of storybooks. They can help children learn about time, culture and peoples other than their own. Stories can help them understand how others think, act and feel. Read books with character and situations both similar and dissimilar to those in the children's life so that they can learn about the world. Choose books that help you teach. Use alphabet books to help you teach the names of the letters and the sounds that each letter can represent, and use counting books to teach children how to count and to recognize numbers. Choose stories that help children to learn about social behavior, for example, books about friendship to help children learn to share and cooperate. Reread favorite books. Children love to hear their favorite books over and over again. Hearing books read several times help children understand and notice new things. They may notice repeated sound patterns. If you point out some letters and words as you read the book repeatedly, children may also pick up specific words that are easily recognized. So, to conclude, hoping that you are now well versed with the varied components of early childhood education, this is Dr. Dhanya signing off for today. If a child is brought up well, then trust me, the future of the nation is secure. Wishing you all the best in your role as an early childhood educator who has a great role in building the future of the nation. Thank you and bye.